off this morning. Now, education, PEP. The opposition spokesman on education is Senator Damion Crawford. And Senator Crawford, made some comments that were quoted in the news, which I think demand further analysis and debate. According to Senator Crawford, the quality of the 2026 primary exit profile exams is questionable. But then he also went on to make a very serious charge against the Ministry of Education, saying that the ministry is manipulating the data from the exam results, manipulating the data to give a misleading impression, saying it is really comparing apples and oranges. Now that is a very serious charge to be leveled against the Ministry of Education. Here's what Senator Crawford said, as reported by Shalois Michael.
The Ministry of Education last month reported that there had been an improvement in the performance of grade 6 students in both mathematics and language arts in the 2026 PEP exams. For 2026, 72% of the 31,627 students who sat language arts achieved proficiency. This is 3% higher than the 69% recorded in 2025. As for mathematics, 69% of students achieved proficiency in 2026. This is up 6% from the 63% recorded in 2025. This year's sitting was the first time literacy and numeracy assessments were included at grade 6. For those tests, 79% of students achieved mastery in literacy and reading comprehension, while 75% achieved mastery in numeracy. 4% of students were assessed at the non-mastery level for literacy, while 7% received non-mastery in numeracy. But opposition spokesman on education, Damion Crawford, is questioning the quality of the exam administered and the literary mastery results as reported by the ministry. According to him, even some academics are also questioning the results.
It would have been the first year that sixth grade would have been doing this new literacy examination. Therefore, the only comparison that is possible is this year's sixth grade versus themselves in 5th grade last year. But because their levels of literacy, one would have to attain if they were at the 6th grade level or the 5th grade level, for which the ministry was incapable to communicate. Many participants within the examination from the level of teachers and also academics have also questioned the quality of the literacy mastery exam, as quite a few questions have been indicated, and it does not capture speed of reading or high levels of comprehension. It therefore would be a comparison of apples and oranges if we were to suggest that the last year would have been better than this year.
Crawford is suggesting that the PEP results must only be taken at face value, given what he says is the tendency of the Education Ministry to manipulate data.
It has become more and more clear to me and to the nation that the Ministry of Education is more concerned about building a narrative than building a nation. And in seeking to build a narrative, then you can always seek to manipulate numbers to report that all is rosy and excellent. The example of this can be captured in the recent reports around the PEP examination. And within those reports, they were seeking to indicate that there was a increase and improvement over last year. However, a deeper assessment would indicate that we had a different exam this year versus last year, which did not include two of the categories and also did not include an application component to the same extent as it did in the 2025 year.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
That is serious. That is serious. This is coming from the opposition spokesman on education. And I look forward to the response of the Minister of Education, because I can understand and appreciate the points he makes about not comparing the grade 6 results with previous exams because there was none at grade 6. You would have to compare it against the performance of the students at grade 5, and it's not the same. What worries and concerns me, though, is that Senator Crawford says there's a tendency of the Education Ministry to manipulate data. Can you play back that clip for me? The last one. A tendency of the Education Ministry to manipulate data? That's a
It has
very,
become
very serious charge. You know, in education, there is a practice. We call it an honor system. Yeah, that we, as a teacher, we preach to our students or pupils to be honest, to be honorable, not to cheat. Yeah, teachers learn that. It's one of the things you impart to your students. You don't cheat. So for the opposition spokesman on education to be accusing the Minister of Education in effect of cheating, listen to what he says.
It has become more and more clear to me and to the nation that the Ministry of Education is more concerned about building a narrative than building a nation. And in seeking to build a narrative, then you can always seek to manipulate numbers to report that all is rosy and excellent. The example of this can be captured in the recent reports around the PEP examination. And within those reports, they were seeking to indicate that there was a increase and improvement over last year. However, a deeper assessment would indicate that we had a different exam this year versus last year, which did not include two of the categories and also did not include an application component to the same extent as it did in the 2025 year.
No. Senator Dana Morris Dixon, the Education Minister, Permanent Secretary, the Chief Education Officers, yeah, the people who not only administer the exams, yeah, but report the results, the data. I think Senator Crawford is accusing all of you of cheating, of manipulating, misleading the data. I would love to hear your response to what he's claiming. Yeah? 27 minutes after 10 o'clock. We are also reporting in the news, yeah, this morning in Nationwide's The Point Is podcast,